Thank you for watching this video. We're going to go through a DIY septic system drain field solution with the homemade distribution box. Please note I'm not a septic pro. This is for entertainment purposes only. Go to your local town or whatever to see what you personally can do. And don't do something if you're not confident you can do it. I had a problem with the septic leaking. I opened the top and you can see it's overflowing. So the drain field was backing up. I initially tried some bacteria in there, but of course it was too far gone. So as you can see, it was overflowing from both places there in the septic tank. So I put some of this septic shock in. I have no idea how it works because it didn't, it would have never been able to solve my problem because there was no way for that to get into the lines. It had a 4.4 star. So anyway, I had to call the septic people to come down and pump it out, which they did. And as you can see now, the tank is empty. About a month and a half later, it backed up again. So that was when I found out that it was a drain field problem. So as I told you before, I did use some of this. Some people rave about this, but you have to have somewhat of a working drain field to do this. Maybe, you can read up on those chemicals. I'm not sponsored or I have nothing to do with any of these, but it didn't work for me. This is my quick sketch on after I dug out the distribution box. You can see I had two septic lines, and you can see the distribution box is just after 26 years completely disintegrated there on the top. So that's what I pulled out of there. The left side and the right side were going to the leach field, and then towards us was where the water was just dripping down. So as you can see there, the two pipes that are the existing pipes. So after I got the box out and cleaned out all the junk that was in there, I noticed that the two drain field pipes there were no good. You can see the outlet from the septic tank. I checked that inside and outside. That apparatus is still good. I had some PVC laying around that I dug a shallow well with, and I just kind of put it together there just to see what I have to do here in terms of putting my new 30-foot line in. 10 feet coming down, 90-degree angle, and then I'll do a 30-foot septic drain there going out towards my garden. There's Chippy the inspector. He's checking things out. He didn't like what he saw here. We got the rototiller and we hit the somebody that put in the electrical didn't do a good job before going out to the barn. So we hit that, and miraculously we did not cut that line. So in any event, you got to make sure you set everything out first. Make sure you know what you're doing. The first thing I did was I dug out the outlet going down to the new septic drain, and then I rototilled the top layer, maybe 4 feet wide. I'm not going to dig, as you'll see, the whole 4 feet. I bought a distribution box. Well, I didn't buy one. They were only online, so I didn't have the time to wait. And I'm going to make it out of a planter, which you'll see. So I got the pipe, and I laid it out exactly where it's going to go, so I know where to dig. And believe it or not, I dug this 30-foot trench by hand. It was a pretty good workout, and I was planning on doing this entire thing by hand, but I highly suggest renting a backhoe loader, which made the second part of the job 100 times easier. In any event, I started to dig, as you can see here, little by little, and took me, I don't know, 4 days maybe, part-time, to dig that out. So I just continued and continued until it's about 3.5 feet wide at the top, and then down 5 feet. So I kept digging and digging, and I got down to 5 feet. So, but before we do anything new, of course, Chippy the inspector had to look at stuff here. Of course, I worked into the night. I'm on a 3rd shift schedule, and most of my work is done at night. But I get 3 or 4 hours of 5 hours of light in too. So things were progressing really nicely. Chippy gave us a 100% here to continue, so we shall continue. One thing I do want to note also is when you're putting down anything like this, make sure you check for electrical. I knew there was electrical there, and I would have had it checked if I used the backhoe loader in the first place. But since I was digging by hand, I didn't think it was going to hit my rototiller. In any event, always have that checked if you have underground service. Okay, so now we're down 5 feet. And everything looked really good. So I went back to the distribution box. I just, again, put everything together, make sure everything is in order. And I can't tell you enough to make sure you just check everything 2 or 3 times, if not more, because many of these things here are very, very important, whether you're doing a septic system or, of course, anything else. It's not a problem to cut corners on some things, but in a septic system, you know, hopefully you want to build this to last you for 20, 30 years. So the existing septic here that was put in has lasted 26 years. I'm hoping those two distribution lines that are there have unclogged.
All right, so this is a quick tutorial on how to dig your own septic system for under $1,000. I'm doing all this by hand, by the way, with that shovel I just bought for $30 at Lowe's. You can see I've took a lot of sand out of here. We're in Florida, the middle of Florida. This is called Mayaca sand. And I'm going down about 5 feet. I've got 3.5, 4 feet in the width, and then going down to about 2 feet down the bottom. These are my perforated pipe, right? We're going to put these together all the way down. The way you do that is keep that lettering up here and then attach them together with, you know, regular PVC cement. That'll be 30 feet of perforated pipe. And then I have my, I'm making my own distribution box here because I don't sell any locally. This is the old distribution box, just a flimsy piece of corrugated plastic or whatever they call that there. And that's what happened. These two lines got backed up in this is my septic tank right here, okay? That's the outlet, and those are the two lines going out into the leach field, right? So those got clogged up, it looks like. So I've got my new pipe here. I'm gonna just use this planter, cut holes on each side, and one down in here for the inlet of the water, you see right there. Then I'm going to attach my new pipe here, right over here. So I have two pipes on this side. I'm going to put saran wrap or maybe tin foil and cover it with a cement stone up, or flat stone on top. I'm going to angle this down here. I'm going to connect the downspout there to my perforated pipe that's going to go all the way down this 30-foot thing. Now, of course, before that, I'm going to put 1/2 inch to 2.5 inch stone here. I'm waiting for the driver to drop that off now, and I'll continue the video as I go along.
As I briefly mentioned before, the fabric should go on the sides and then on the top. You don't want to put the fabric on the bottom. So the sides and the top, put the fabric, and you'll be good to go. You're going to put, I dug down 5 feet. You don't have to go down that far. Sometimes people go 4 or 3, and then put rock on the bottom, up a couple feet, or up until your pipe, and then you can come back and then wrap it after you put about 2 or 3 inches of rock or so on the top.
Okay, so I have my pipe just placed there, so I know the slope going down. I temporarily attached it here, and then we brought some rock in, right? And we put the rock right just about level. They call it cracking the bubble, where you just put the bubble on the other side of the line, but not the whole bubble, just crack the bubble, just barely break it. And then you just bring it down here. So there's our pipe. You want the lettering side up, so the perforation, of course, is down. And what I mean by cracking the bubble is just have that bubble, let me see if I can do it with, right on that line. If you can see it, well, not right, just barely right there. Okay, so to improvise, I'm using a 4¼ inch circular drill bit saw, whatever you want to call it, not circular. Anyway, you see it right there. 4¼ inch for the 4-inch pipe, because you're 4 inches internal diameter, right? So this is the two existing pipes that are on my septic. Now I'm going to cut the hole for the third one that's going out to the new line, and then I'm going to cut the hole for the inlet from the septic tank. here for the side, just using a regular circular saw, and that's it. All right, so I had some roofing cement that was left here when I bought the house, so we're going to use that. You can use that under dirt and stuff. That's good for stuff on the roof and also for the sub level too. So we're just going to smear that around these connections here just to make sure they're tight, because I just cut it out with that hole saw. So we've got the two original outlets that were clogged. I back flushed those and put some bacteria down them. Hopefully they'll start to work again. But if not, our new one should take care of it very well. And we're just going to connect this down here, and then the whole thing will be connected, and we'll show you the finishing product. Now, before I put the cement block, which is right here, over my distribution box here for the septic system, you see the outlet coming here, which is a little bit higher than the three. The two original ones are there, and I just put some black tar all around there. It says for underground use also, so that's great. That'll dry overnight. I'll put the cap on, and we should be good to go. I'll cover everything with dirt here like I did the leach field, and we're successfully completed our project. Well, I wasn't going to use this backhoe loader, but for $344, I certainly decided to, and it really came in handy. It's a Kubota B26. So there's the rest of the leach field, and now I'm actually making a walkway, as you can see down at the end there. So we had some rocks left over. Anyway, that's the end of our tutorial. The only thing I can say is do not put the fabric on the bottom like I did. That's the wrong way to do it, because that'll hold dirt in that does seep in there. So fabric on the sides and the top, drain field fabric, and then you should have it all set.
A big thanks to my wife for helping, especially in the last day. That really put us over to the finish line. Thank you very much for watching. I really hope you learned something there. Again, I'm not a professional, but what I am is a follower of Jesus Christ, and I pray you are too. If you're not, or even if you are, please visit this page on our website, globalmissionforchildren.org/salvation. Jesus is the one true God, and that's way more important than any d.i.y we could put out there. And to Jesus be all the glory. Thanks for watching. Amen.